Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I got a really good article that was sent to me by a good friend, and let's get to it. Tenants looking for a new place after $1,660 rent increase. Toronto residents thought landlord's notice was an April Fool's prank. Wow. Most people expect their rent to go up each year, but not by 100%. So you can imagine the shock of AJ Merrick and John Morehouse experienced when they got a letter from their landlord. I thought it was an April Fool's joke, said Merrick, a young marketing professional. There's no way I'd pay that much for this apartment, but it wasn't a joke. Their two-bedroom condo located near Liberty Village was going up from $1,660 to $3,320. The notice outlined two options: either accept the rent increase or agree to vacate a unit by July the 1st. Wondering what good it would do to fight. So there it is. There's a letter. I'll leave a link below. I just don't know what good it would do to fight, Morehouse said. Realistically, they're probably trying to kick us out so they can sell the unit for the most profit. CBC Toronto tried to contact the company in charge of the rental units, Urbancorp, which is described on its website, the premier developer of the King West neighborhood. The company's number is no longer in service, and emails to their address listed online bounced. The company announced that it had to undergo restructuring in April 2016 under the Bankruptcy Act. The lawyers handling the reconstruction also didn't answer emails or calls Monday or Tuesday. The rent increase of 100% is completely legal, given that's the 1991 loophole known formally as Bill 96. Buildings built after 1991, the Wild West. So basically, there's different bylaws for different buildings for different years, right? It was introduced by the province decades ago that allows landlords of any building constructed after 1991 to increase the rent as they see fit. This is a very shocking example of how broken the system is, said Kun. Josh Matlow, who chairs the city's tenant issues committee. Buildings in the province built after 1991 are sort of like Wild West. But what's left that wasn't built? Everything built before that is like asbestos and old construction with lead paint. Built after 1991. I thought it would make sense built before 1991 because maybe they need to double, triple the rent to get people out to renovate or, yeah. Ontario is currently reviewing legislation, and Matlow says he'd like to sit down with the province when it's rewriting its rules. Big changes need to be made to how tenants are treated in this province so that Toronto doesn't just become a playground for the rich. We want Toronto to be affordable and accessible. Days may be numbered for 1991 rule. On Tuesday, Mayor John Tory weighed in a similar message. The private sector is carrying out their own activities with respect to the rents they charge. Should be very careful about what they do in instances like this because it can provoke the kind of legislative and policy reaction that something they say would be very much against the interests of future construction of rental accommodation in the city of Toronto, said Tory. And that would be a very bad thing for tenants and very bad thing for the economy. So on Monday, Mallow and Bialio, who chairs the city's Affordable Housing Committee, held a special joint meeting. There are two committees at City Hall where they presented 8 recommendations to people to regulate Toronto's rental market. So basically, let's keep reading here. The reality is that there hasn't been a rental built. There has not been rental buildings built in any comprehensive way, so that argument does not actually hold water to me at this point, Wayne said. The council's recommendations will be presented to the mayor's executive committee and council in the coming weeks. As for Morehouse and Merrick, they're going to have to start looking for a new place to live. So this is pretty shocking. It's not shocking in a way where obviously there's a lot of internal problems going on with this with the rental agency or the company that's renting out the property or the company that owns the property, in case it's a numbered account or a numbered company. So yeah, it's kind of almost it's definitely a stab in the back, but we don't know the whole story. We don't know what's happening with the tenants. We don't know if they're blasting music all night and upsetting the other tenants. We don't know the whole story, but what it's saying here is definitely not fair, to pull one of the fast one like this. So they got to start looking for a new place to live. It's like, what if this starts to happen more and more? You know, I heard they're trying to pass legislation in different provinces so they don't have to. Basically, they could put the rent at what they want and increase the rent what they want. And what's going to happen? I mean, what's the point of doing something like that? I understand, but once they start, you're going to start having rent battles where people start bidding on renting, where people start to bid and say, okay, this rental property is up for a 1 year lease or a 2 year lease. We'll start the bid at $2,000 a month. Who's going to start with $2,000? I could see that happening, people. I could see them bidding on rentals, and only the rich will succeed. The filthy rich will be able to, are basically the ones that are going to be able to succeed and enjoy this infrastructure that was built by our forefathers, our grandfathers, and our parents, and that have paid into the tax system for hundreds of years. Let me know what you guys think. Is this going to, are you afraid of getting one of these letters? And if you do get one of these letters, comment below on what you would do. I would like to know what you would do if you got one of these letters at your door, because I want to know some of the reactions of some of my followers on this page. I would like to know what you guys would do if this was to happen, because I would move out then. If they slapped an extra $1,660 on my rent, I would just move out. I wouldn't bother fighting it. I would just, because if I'm not wanted somewhere, I'll leave. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Thanks for watching.